Sugar, sugar
Sugar packets. Good evening and welcome to another episode of Uncorked with T. I'm T, and every time. This is my guest, Collier. Collier's right now in Missouri, which is, I'm bad
the
at
middle of
geography,
the
man.
country.
In the middle of the country. And she just taught me that. You learn something new every day. Yeah. So Collier is a poet, author, blogger, nature photographer, and in her free time, she posts inspirational, thoughtful messages on Instagram, which, first of all, they're so damn nice. You had this one
Oh,
quote that I absolutely love. I've been like slightly stalking you a little bit. So, you had this quote that I love, which is success is not a destination, it is a mindset. When the collective shares that mindset, it becomes a movement. Like that shit hit me.
oh,
Like, yes, yes. Keep pushing towards that idea and you don't stop because you reach it. You can never reach
right,
an idea. You just keep going.
right, right.
I love that so
Yes.
much.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Every now and and again, the muse kind of hits,
Right?
and I just share.
Are you just like a natural, like kind, loving person? Like, is that just you?
That's me. That's me.
I
That's
love that.
me.
So where does that come from? Have you always been kind of like loving and outgoing and kind?
Not outgoing, but loving. Yes.
Gotcha.
So I think I attribute a lot of that to just upbringing. So you kind of grow up in an environment of strong-willed women,
Mm-hmm.
but I had the fortune to actually be around a lot of older people early on in my life, and they were heavily, heavily significant to me and just really influenced me a lot. So, you learn patience, right? You learn benevolence,
Mm-hmm.
you learn a lot of things. And so you kind of see the way they handle things, and you kind of, your perspective, you take on this, you observe and you take on this unique perspective about it. But then, I mean, outside of that, for myself, like, I love nature. So, I was a bit of a tomboy.
Mm-hmm.
And so and that's because I grew up with all male cousins.
Gotcha.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like you have to hold your ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of remind them that,
Don't start nothing, won't be nothing.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and a lot of that. So it's kind of like a healthy mix of all of it. But for the most part, that's me by far and large. That's just at my core, that's who I am.
It's so refreshing, and I feel like it's so important for people who want to share that part of themselves, because it's not an easy thing to do, to put
No,
yourself out there in such a kind, loving way, because the world is not kind, the world is not loving.
no,
So
it
I
is not.
think it's brave to be within, to sharing that part of yourself, to being your true self out in the universe. I think that's brave.
I appreciate that. I think, like, it's not always easy. It wasn't easy for me. Like, early, I got teased,
Mm-hmm.
odd girl out, which was kind of weird because you sort of, and I apologize, nature is speaking.
Well, we will let her say whatever she wants. Nature, please chill out just for a little bit. Jacob, you can do whatever you want.
But yeah, so I just, I just took it with a grain of salt. A lot of times you just kind of fold in, right? Just kind of look to your own self and get into your own space, which I think is where a lot of my creativity stems from, because I spent a lot of time in my world.
So do you daydream a lot? Is that like a thing that you do?
Oh yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
all
You
the
ever find
time.
yourself daydreaming, like while you're driving and you get home, like, oh, this is bad. I don't know how I got here.
I have done that. I have done that on elevators. Yeah, I have done that going from the room to the kitchen. and not making it to the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you kind of bring yourself back. What was I doing?
What is that thing? Yeah. Do you do that thing yet where you get in the kitchen like, some bitch, I know I came in here for something.
Yes.
I had no
Yes.
idea.
And
No
it'll
idea
hit
what it
me
was.
as soon as I leave.
Right? You get all comfy back in your room. You're like, damn it, that's what it was.
Yes.
That's what it was. You got some comments over here. Elizabeth Pinchback Lamar says, hi, Nina Weena. Apparently people know you as Nina.
Yes.
Zaji? I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm like butchering your name. Zaji or Zahi?
Zaji.
Zaji? What's
Hi.
up, girl? Tazinia, what up, girl? And everyone is giving you much love and much praise.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. All of those talented women, strong women.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Talented, strong
Women.
women. If you have a question for Collier, aka Nina, I think you might be in the CIA. I don't know yet. Throw them in the comments, and we'll ask
No,
you whatever.
so backstory on Nina.
Uh-huh.
My original, when I used to attempt to put myself out there to perform poetry, it was under Nina Word Song.
Ooh. That's tight. Nina
So
Word.
yeah, Nina, that's been with me for a long while.
Oh, snap. Well, which do you prefer?
I'm indifferent.
All right, Collier it
I'm
is.
indifferent.
It's just because I see it there. That's literally the only reason. That's it. Giovanti?
Giovante.
Giovante. They said you are beautiful and amazing.
That's one of my adopted boys right there. That's my son, my other son.
Now, before we're gonna have to back all the way up. Boy, oh boy, Black Don't Crack, because you do not look old enough to have an adopted child.
Well, so here we go. And I told you I was saving something for you for today.
Oh yes.
So I connected you with Spades. That's my son.
Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. What? Like, we supposed to be on the same level. We're both poets. We're supposed to support each other. Why are you doing this to me right now? What? That's your son?
Yes.
Like, you made him. That is
natural. I was the vessel chosen to bring him to this level of existence.
Oh my God. Yo, he is dope. He's gonna be
Thank you.
I talked to him. Thank you so much. We're gonna so for those of you who don't know, well, nobody knows because I haven't said it yet, but Uncorked with Tea is going to take a hiatus after this one. I'm gonna do one more with just myself explaining why, but it's not, the poets aren't going anywhere. So we're gonna start the Uncorked Poetry Podcast, and that'll be May 1st. So just look out for that, and it'll be all poets 24/7. All we do is support, love on poets. So look out for that. That's coming soon.
Yes.
But your son is going to be on that. I believe in June, the first or second week in June. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Yes, I told you I had a surprise for you.
That is Lord have mercy. Okay, God is good. So, Tazinia said Nina is the name she used when she went on cross-country road trip in 2005. I can't disclose any additional details, but I know where the bodies are buried. Well then, I knew it. Yeah, I said you're in the CIA.
When your sisters call,
Do what you gotta do. Sometimes Earl's gotta die. Whatever.
When your sisters call.
And we're gonna leave it there because we don't want
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
All right, this seems like a good time to hop into your first poem.
Okay. So I figured I would start with the heavy. And then we can lighten the mood.
Okay, heavy's good. Heavy's good.
But I wanted to, so this piece is something that has been, it's been ruminating for a while. Just, I'm a huge empath. So like I carry a lot of compassion for people
Mm-hmm.
and like situations in the world. They kind of, inspire different things. So this one, and you can ask whatever you want to ask afterwards.
Okay.
This one is titled Early Harvest.
Okay.
There was a time strange fruit hung from poplar trees. Today, the same fruit lays dying in the streets. Black bodies rotting in a familiar sun.
Mm-hmm.
Holes release blood and souls, one by one. Decaying flesh, once devoured by celebratory flames, now lie in wait for loved ones to identify and claim. Cool of metal foreshadows the morn to come. Earth opens to welcome her party of one. Strange fruit lay dying in the streets. No bed of grass, only concrete. A putrid fragrance carries high on the breeze. Another spoiled harvest leaves another family to grieve. End poem.
God damn, you were not playing, bro. Wow, 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 wow. So early harvest, celebratory flames. Ow. Yeah. What really stood out to me was no better grass, only concrete.
Mhm.
I think that was so evident to our right now. Did you write this because of um never mind, because of 500 years, that's why. Um wow,
Partly.
wow.
So I love Billie Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know her story, the government pursued her heavily because of Strange Fruit,
Yeah.
which is one of my favorite songs. Um, and it's just, it resonates, like it cuts when you think about that whole visual, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I specifically remember last year when George Floyd happened.
Mm-hmm.
And the very first thing that came to me was that, once strange fruit hung from poplar trees, and today it lays dying in the streets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was just, it's overwhelming. It really is. And it's just like your soul laid bare for the world to see. And what do you do?
Over and over again, the same capital T trauma and
Yes,
the same videos. And I've come across a lot of people who just said I can't watch it anymore, but
I can't either.
I have to.
Hmm.
And
It's hard.
Whew.
It's hard. I mean, it takes everything out of you,
Mm-hmm.
literally.
Yeah, including and especially trust.
Yes.
Like how do we trust the people who's supposed to, take care of the community? How are we supposed to
Hmm.
trust these people who's supposed to keep us safe and they out here killing kids in the streets?
And I've always, and like that's one of the heavy debates that, me and some go back and forth on. I actually, in another life, was an emergency dispatcher.
Oh, girl. Listen, you got layers like an onion. Oh my God.
So so it's like I've seen all sides. I mean, and I've been profiled as a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
right? I grew up in South Florida, heavily diverse community. So oftentimes it's common to find people who are bilingual.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially when you have a diverse group of people
Yeah.
that you associate with a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was profiled I was profiled as a possible gang member because
So
I
what
knew Spanish.
was it, like the Powerpuff Kids? Or who in the hell would have thought that your happy ass was in the game?
I have no idea. I literally had not 5 minutes before that incident happened, had a conversation with a former principal to let him know that I had been accepted into college. And we were actually leaving the area. There was a school event going on, but he happened to be outside. So I stopped and spoke. And there were several of us. And so we continued on. So I don't know if some incident happened or what the case was, but we got cut off. I got hauled away behind the school where there was no lighting and a lot of cars. And I just remember they wanted to check everything, you know, like, oh yeah, it was an experience. And there were school resource officers, but I do remember like after they checked my information, it was kind of like an uh-oh moment. Because I was an AP honor student.
Would you look at that?
In my senior year, and had never had any incidents whatsoever, ever.
Yeah.
So it was a weird dynamic. But me, you know, I'm not one of those people who hold grudges or ill will. I don't assume that because of one person's actions, you know, because if that were the case, no matter what group of people we're in, we'd all be subjected to the same scrutiny, right? So at that time, I was actually passionate about pursuing law, but then I changed my mind.
I wonder why.
And went into just, I thought about political science too, but then I realized, okay, corruption is a real thing. So I just said, you know what? I will stick with words.
And you're very, very good at it. That was a beautiful poem, man. It was deep and painful, but so fucking needed. I cuss a lot, so.
No, you're good.
Okay, good.
I worked in stations. People curse a lot.
Right? Yeah, I don't know. It's just like my default. Like I cuss. That's what I do.
No, hey, all good. All good.
All right, so I have a question for you.
Okay.
After your poem, I'm trying to think of you know what? I'm gonna ask this poem. Okay, so let's go back to this. So in Mary J. Blige's 2001 Family Affair song, right? She said, and I quote, "We don't need no hateration, holleration in this dancery." End quote. I don't know what the fucking dancery is. I don't know what she's talking about, but I think we have an idea. So have we come to the point in society where we are uplifting each other out of the crab in a barrel mentality? And if not, how do we move forward?
I don't think we're 100% there yet.
I don't think so either.
I think there are a lot of layers to unpack. So if you think about it, there's just trauma on top of trauma on top of more trauma, right? And so before we can get to that place where we can collectively celebrate and rejoice, you know, for each other, we have to do that inner work, that shadow work, right? That self work. We have to get to that place. So, and I always tie that back. Like one of the things I say a lot, you know, we don't love ourselves because for many of us, we either never learned how or somewhere in societal conditioning, we forgot how.
Yeah.
And so we can't love another until we can love self, right? There's no fixing someone else. There's no saving someone else. We have to do that for self. And so until we get to that place where we can heal within, we can't do those things without. Like we can't project that anywhere. We can try, right? But then that's where the dysfunction sets in because we start creating dependencies.
Woo! Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I can't wholly love someone else if I'm not first whole in my love for myself, right?
Yes.
There's no, the two halves come together and create this nice whole.
Another thing.
You have to be whole. We need two wholes coming together, right? Otherwise, it's just this toxic back and forth, and everybody's seeking the same thing outside of themselves that they should be finding within themselves. So I think until we get to that point, there will still be a significant portion of us that will continue to have that mentality. And a lot of times, it's not that it's even a conscious effort. It's become second nature, right? Because nowadays we're just inherently skeptical, right? We're inherently envious, right? Must be good for them, must be nice for them.
Yep.
Congratulations.
With your little award, that shit. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, we have to get past that, right? We have to, like, it has to be we have to get to the place of understanding, a victory for one of us is a victory for all of us. Let's celebrate that, right? But now the other side of that is for those that do advance, for those that do find out whatever the secret sauce is, right, to success, and they get there. Don't remember, I mean, be sure not to forget to look back. It's not that you have to carry the burden of another, but impart that wisdom so that they can apply it to life and find their success.
Yes. Where, God damn it, write a book. Just write a book. Oh my gosh. Tazenia said, it's poets who record the tales. True. Poets, we don't get the respect we deserve, man. Like, no. We've been out here telling you the truth since before there was a thing called time. That was us.
Truth tellers. Right. Yes. Truth
Tazenia
tellers.
In this dancery. Rachel said that was a great question. Thanks, Rach. Taji, am I saying that right? Taji. Yes.
Z.
Zaji.
Yes.
I looked at that shit and I heard you say it like 3 times, and my brain was like, Taji, right? No. Zaji. They said yes. That don't know how to forget. Don't know how or forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to remember, we got to remember, because at the end of the day, no matter what it is, no matter how you apply it, in any setting, a people, a body of work is only as strong as the weakest link.
Yes.
So if we don't reinforce the chink in the armor, it's compromised, regardless.
Yeah. So reach back. That's it. Reach back and, the knowledge I have, it's not tangible. It's not a thing that you should hold. Just share it. Give it out.
But see, we live in a world where information is power. So if I withhold,
I have more power.
I have more power. I have leverage.
Yeah. I know about that. I'm a Scorpio. I'm working on it. I'm working on being a better me.
At the end of the day, the thing to remember is there are enough seats at the table for everyone. We can all eat.
Yes.
All of us. All of us. So the whole concept of lack, that's in here. That's in here.
Damn.
Perception is truth. If the perception is I'm lacking,
yes,
then that's my truth. That's my truth. Because that's what I'm focusing on, right? Thoughts are things. What we think on, what we focus on expands. So if I'm focused on the lack, what am I creating more of in my life?
Man, listen, you better tell them. God damn. All right, child. Let's head into another poem and woo wee.
Okay. So now this one is titled Human Experience.
Okay.
Okay. And forgive me because I'm a little rusty with this one.
Somebody take your time.
A lot rusty.
We got nothing but love for you.
Thank you. Okay. I am human, but some will never see past my hue, man. And while I've never made apologies for this divine tan, I once pondered life in reverse. You see, there was a time I thought my color was a curse. Despite a loving mother's constant praises, the world screamed louder and I questioned my worth. I can't say the time or day this question went away, but what remained echoed in the soul of this brown skinned girl. It permeated every fiber, even these kinky curls. Candlelight conversations reminded me yonder, they do not love my flesh. I folded in. I learned to love it hard, this skin, so my soul would know rest. Now, grounded in my center, I preserve the heart of me. I preserve the heart of me so that it does not splinter, mindful of the words, the deeds, and the entities I allow to enter. I am human. I don't need you to see past my hue, man. Connections between spiritual beings in this human experience should override any fleshly difference because human embodies a single race, not the texture of my hair, the color of my skin, or the features of my face. We are all beings of light. Lay bare your preconditioning, engage your third eyesight. Then you will see I am you. You are me. HUMAN. That's that piece.
Bro. Bro. What the fuck? Oh my God, that was beautiful. I absolutely love the hue man. Like the play on words there is genius.
Thank you.
Especially in all of American history. It's so prevalent and so it's so understandable as a young person of color.
Yes.
To have that feeling of fuck, it has to be me. Like it has to be. It has to be what I look like. Why would I even like it? Those feelings are real. It's something that I think so many people of color go through and we don't talk about. And I absolutely love that poem. You had this one part where you said pondered life in reverse. Pondered life in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about that for a second? I found that so interesting. Pondered life in reverse. What does that mean to you?
So when you are in those places of self-loathing, when you don't love your skin, right? All the what ifs. What if there was no tan? What if there were no full lips? What if there was no broad nose? What if there was no kinky texture and it was just bone straight? What would life be then? And then you come to the realization that, because I truly believe that in certain settings, the lot of us, through environment, through experience, have had at least a moment where it's just, I wish anything but.
Yeah.
Just for a moment's peace, right? But then you start to look around and you start to notice, okay, lip injections, implants in the backside. I love your culture, but I don't love you. And it's like, well, maybe you secretly do.
It's yourself that you don't love.
But you won't acknowledge that because I'm supposed to be subhuman, right? I'm primitive, I'm savage. My practices, my spiritual belief systems are barbaric, archaic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's none of those things. We're connected to earth. We're connected to spirit. We respect earth. We respect spirit. We are we are an accommodating people, right?
Yes, we are. We are forgiving people. That is for sure. Very accommodating.
There's dinner on the table. We don't have much, but what we have, we'll share.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so then you think about that, and it's just a split second of that. It's in those heated moments of, okay, I had a really crappy day. I had a really crappy day, and it's just like, oh my gosh, if I could snap a finger and be anyone but me, right? And then you come back and say, but then if I were anyone but me, right? Who would write these words?
Mm.
Who would be that friend with that ear, right? Could there be someone else to come in and say the exact words that I would say, give the exact same embrace that I would give, right?
Yeah.
That hug that lets you know you are beyond loved, right? And so then you get to that place of, you know what? I am so happy with who I am. And it takes sometimes, for some of us, it takes time to get there,
That's
right?
Yeah.
But then when you get there, you realize, you know what? I don't need to apologize for that. I absolutely deserve to love who I am, because who I am is divinely made. This is not a mistake. This was not an oops moment in the universe. This was intentional.
Yes. So let's get to these comments right quick. Wow. So you have so many comments, man. Let's see. Pharaoh.
That's my other son.
Damn it, Collier. How many kids do you have? I love that name, Pharaoh. That's tight. Yeah.
That's the one thing I work on, especially with young Black men, right? Mm-hmm. I need you to love you. I need you to love every inch of you.
Yeah.
Every hair fiber, every time your skin changes in the sun, all of it. I need you to know that there is nothing wrong with you.
Mm-hmm. Now that you said it, that is your son. It explains his comment when they said, "That's right, Mama." Well, yeah. Tara, what's up, girl? She said 100%. Farrell said, talk to him. Diane, hey, Diane. She said it's true, but damn, you have major headwinds blowing at you from the system that be. That's for sure. Uh-oh. So Zaji, they're in this right now. Okay. So listen. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. Snapping. All right. They are here. Diane said, fantastic. Farrell said, love you, Mama. Damn, that's sweet.
I love you too.
Right? Tazinia said, Hugh Wool Man. What? Zaji said, to me, it means history, remembering, looking back. That's how it came to me. Damn. Rachel said, hey, what's up, Rachel? She said, that's right. And yes. And Rachel said that she loves Farrell's name too. And Farrell said, that's my dog. He just started moving. I was like, what? I forgot I had one, to be honest. And I was just like, what was that? We're good. Oh man. All right. So now it's time for question 2.
Okay.
So like I said, I've been semi-stalking you. And I was on your Instagram, and boy, oh boy, do you get busy in the weight room, okay? You be in there, okay? So I have a question for you.
Okay.
You leg pressed 360 pounds.
410.
You're up to 410?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you on that one, if you swipe 410.
Sweet baby Jesus. 410. Okay. So you leg press 410 pounds. What artistic situation would parallel with that type of workout? Something you had to work up to get to that point, then keep pushing harder.
Public performance.
Oh, really?
I'm an
What?
introvert. I'm an introvert. But most people, they're like, no, yeah, I am. So it takes me a while to warm up. Like if I'm in a room of strangers, I will not initiate conversation. I'll just kind of go shrink, try to fade in the corner somewhere, or yeah. I don't know when I meet someone, like I carry conversation. And then as I get to know people, we engage in more conversation. So I've had to mindfully push myself outside of my comfort zone. And I did that because the things I love require engagement and interaction, right? I love writing. I love sharing my words, and I love hearing other people's words and engaging them, right? And sharing my thoughts with them. So, and then performing too, right? So growing up, I played piano. So I had to overcome shyness for recitals. Then I fell in love with cello, and then I had to
But you're
overcome
so
shyness for performances.
okay.
And then I joined like the school vocal ensemble, had to overcome shyness,
Mm-hmm.
right? Especially when they put you in the front because you're like this tall.
Yeah, I was just
so,
gonna say you have the cello. You're like,
but then, I love those things, right? They resonate with me. So music and then drama. I intentionally took drama in school
nice.
because I wanted to like get out of that, right? I made myself take speech, public speaking.
Ah, so fun.
I was mortified. And my public speaking professor he was a hard man to read,
Mm.
and he was very unforgiving. So that was just even more intimidating, right? But you make yourself do these things because it's just like, okay, I have to be able to function in society, right? And if I don't get because early on, I really didn't use my voice. I didn't. I kept my voice to myself. I journaled, I had diaries, I kept my poems to myself, didn't share anything. And so it's just like, okay, if I'm never going to use my voice for me, why would I expect anyone else to?
Mm.
I have to first be my own advocate, right? So if I'm not willing to overcome the shyness, right? To say the things that need to be said. Because when you're an empath, you don't want to hurt feelings, right? But you want to be honest. And so it's like I'm catch 22 that way, right? I used to tell people I'm like a walking contradiction because I believe in being forthcoming, right? But I don't want to hurt anyone. So I'm mindful of the way I say things,
Mm-hmm.
right? But at the same time, I don't want to be untrue to me.
That's a lot to carry, man.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
hard. That's really hard.
It is. It's a balancing act. And so you just, you kind of get to that place where, people sit and they, oh, she's so nice. They start to take it for granted. And it's like, truly, kindness is not a weakness. A nice person is not a weak person. The two are not mutually exclusive, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just that understanding. So for me, one of the biggest things I had to learn is no, the power of no. And I realized that every time I said no to someone, I was actually saying yes to me.
Mm-hmm. Can you say that one more time? Just I just want to echo it.
The power of no,
Mm-hmm.
right? So every time I say no to someone else, I'm saying yes to me.
Y'all hear that? Hold on to it. Yes, so much yes. Wowzers. Listen, let's get into these comments and I don't know what we need to do to get you to write a book. Needs to happen. Rachel said another great question, equally amazing answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Zaji said fellow pianist. You guys are
Yes.
piano buddies.
And she's a fellow poet.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What's up, Zaji? I said your name right like twice. I'm just saying, I need poets. Tara said yes, 100%. It's an art form. I think she's talking about your balancing act. And Diane said the power of no, exclamation point.
Yes.
I
Yes.
have a separate question, not to do with this. Diane just kind of sparked my interest. When you write to people, when you're texting people, do you use a lot of exclamation points?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
And do you type as you would speak, or do you like type grammatically correct?
Mostly grammatically correct.
Right? Because why do we have
it drives me crazy. Like, yeah.
I can't.
And then when something new is created, it's just kind of like, what is that? Like, what is it? I don't even know what that is. What does that mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gave my
there's still some out there that took me forever, and I was like, I still don't know what that means. So I stopped trying to figure it out.
Right? Someone said, I was talking to someone, they're like, you capping. I was like, I'm not even holding anything. What are you talking about? I'm not capping anything. It's like, you cap it. I quit. I quit.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
They had to explain to me. They were just like, well, it's like you're lying. And I was like, you know what's lying? The word lying. It's right there.
Yeah, just say it. Just say it.
It's
just say it.
I want to choke out people who text grammatically correct. Use your words, buddy.
Right? Exactly. Use your words.
It's yes. We're all adults. Just please, guys.
It's like I don't think people take for granted the written word, the spoken word. It's an art. Mm-hmm. It is an art. It's the same way they're taking cursive writing out of schools. That's an art.
How are they going to be able to read? They're so right. How are they going to be able to read like historical artifacts if they can't write and read in script? You know how hard it is to identify a Z in script?
Yes.
It's really fucking hard. It's really fucking hard.
So, I mean, it's no knock against advancement in technology, but
it's there.
You know,
Rachel said, yeah, but we used to say front. And I was like, yeah, you're right.
We did.
Yeah, we did. We're becoming those people, right? Like, get off my lawn.
But yeah. Yes.
Alrighty. So let's get into the last poem. And then I have one last question for you afterwards.
Okay. So I'm going to share an Eintu. Do you know what that is?
An Eintu? No.
Eintu. It is a poem. It follows the 2-4-6-8-6-4-2 cadence. It is West African. Mm-hmm. So they're typically short and sweet.
Okay.
So yeah. So I'm going to share a short and sweet one.
I love it. Let's do this.
Solace finds me hidden in the creases of life, short living a reprieve from use, like bills tucked away in a forgotten pocket. End poem.
Wait, no, can we do it again? So much. I'm so sorry. Can we please do it again?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Solace finds me hidden in the creases of life, short living a reprieve from use, like bills tucked away in a forgotten pocket.
What is your brain? Okay, can we break this whole shit down? Oh my gosh. So the first line, solace, what was it?
Solace finds me hidden.
Solace finds me hidden. What? Yo, that poem is that it's so short, but it's so fucking huge.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, there's something about in a pocket. What was that again?
Oh, like bills tucked away in a forgotten pocket.
Okay, so are we talking about like actual physical money bills? Are we talking about like legislative bills? Or are we talking about like bills
Money.
that are owed to society?
So you know how you have money in your pockets, your coat pockets, your shirt pockets, or your pants pockets, and you forget you tucked it there?
Yeah.
And then
Oh.
you're looking for it and you don't know where it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically this is me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Solace is finding me hidden in the creases of life. Like you find the bill in a hidden pocket.
I can't talk to you anymore. Oh my gosh. Wow. Your brain is so fun.
Thanks.
Wow, I really enjoyed that poem, man.
Good, I'm glad. I really like that form. Like, I wasn't familiar with it at first. I was in a writing group, actually, with these amazing women who are supporting me tonight.
Gotcha.
And that's where I was first introduced to that form. And I love it because I love haiku as well.
Mm-hmm.
I like the short forms of poetry because I think they challenge you as a poet to say what you need to say in a very concise way, right? You have to paint the picture, you have to tell the complete story, and you don't have more than that much room to do it. And so I challenge myself in that way because for me, I know in my mind, showing is a challenge. And I think in longer pieces, I do more telling. But in the short pieces, it's just like, hey, you need to paint a picture. What does the picture look like?
Yeah. Listen, okay. So let's get into these. God damn. Let's get into comments right quick. Zaji said, oh no, she wants to choke people out. Hold up. Rachel says, we need to investigate. What we need to investigate is our indigenous language for show.
Yes.
Zaji says, I wasn't ready. She also says, Solace finds me hidden. Wow. It's like silence finding my GPS coordinates somehow in silence, knowing how to still find me. Rachel said, yeah, and it gets lost in a washing machine. She said she loves
it does.
that too, right? Zaji said, I heard the bills, things we owe others hidden in our pockets. That's how it hit me. It felt like speaking to us, wanting to get away from the bills we owe, the life we are forced to live, hide away these things in our pocket with the lint and the candy wrappers life where no one else can find them, where the world cannot find it, the bills. Zaji, listen.
You see all that brilliance right there. You just read that brilliance.
I'm gonna hit you up. That's for sure. So, just so you know. Rachel said, "Wow, see him." I know she meant something good, and she also said, "I'm so happy I tuned in." Yay, buddy!
Oh, I'm glad you did too.
So I have one more question for you, and it was no, that question is boring. So I want to do another question. I think that your positivity is not just refreshing because I think that's kind of like a sellout. not a sellout, but it's just not descriptive enough. I find your positivity needed.
Thank you.
I think in this time, we absolutely need positivity. So if you could plan, oh, nope, that's not it. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Okay, so if you were to teach a self-love and positivity class, um, what would be a good lesson point to start with? If you're teaching a whole class of, let's say, young adults about positivity, about loving oneself, what would be the first lesson points you start with?
So it's interesting that you asked that question.
Okay.
I have actually created in the past what I call mindful writing activities, just to kind of help peel back some of the layers. And it's actually something that I used to do as a kid, and I still practice this from time to time. So in a situation like that, the first thing I would do is I would ask them to make a list. And on that list, I would ask them to write everything they feel they don't love about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then the activity after that would be to take everything on that list and make it something they love about themselves.
See, that seems like an easy assignment.
It's not.
That is very, very hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, like picking out and pointing out the things that you don't like about yourself is a whole nother journey. It's a whole thing.
But guess what? We do it all the time. We're our own worst critics. We can rattle off everything we don't like about ourselves, everything we wish we could change. I wish my waist was smaller, right? I wish I could run 5 miles, whatever it is, right? So these are all these things that we're just not happy with ourselves about, right? Mm-hmm. So I would say write that list. Okay. Then I want you to take those same elements that you just listed, and I want you to write it in a loving way. Because the thing that we have to relearn to be gentle with self. We have to learn to be patient. All that love, all that generosity, all that patience, all that giving that we pour out into everyone else, we have to remember to do that with ourselves first. Can't pour from an empty vessel.
Yes.
Right? You shouldn't be pouring from a half full vessel. Mm-hmm. Because once your stores are gone, what are you left with? So, that was something I had to learn with myself. But especially as creatives, I think we all can agree with this. We're our own worst critics. we can pick it all apart. I mean, pick it all apart, right? But then we don't ever take the time to put it back together.
Where do you think that comes from? I mean, we can always say, it comes from our upbringing and stuff like that. But how influential do you think not just society, but our immediate environment is to loving ourselves?
I think it is pivotal. Mm-hmm. I do. I think it is pivotal. I think, and then the other part of that too is we often keep that to ourselves. We tuck that in, right? Yeah. And we carry that, and it weighs and it weighs. So that's layer one. Then external influences pile on and continue to pile on. Yeah. And guess what? We never take the time to get back to the foundation of it all. So we get to a point later in life where we're thinking to ourselves and asking ourselves, how did I even get here? Like, I don't even know when or how this all started, because the layers are just so many. And so, when you start to unpack that, it's heavy.
Yeah.
And it's a process. But we live in the age of now, everything now, instant gratification. I want to fix this like
Right
in
now.
the next 2 seconds. As soon as I say it, I want it fixed. And that's the problem. We don't have that same patience, that same understanding that we would give to someone else struggling. We don't see that for ourselves, right? We don't feel that we deserve that same care, that same tenderness. We deserve that. And then the other part of that too, from an influential perspective, some of us are taught tuck it in.
Word.
Right? You deal with it, right?
Yep.
And what happens? You fall apart. At some point in life, you completely fall apart. And so what could have been minimal damage, if it were addressed and properly attended to early on, becomes massive. And you're just, and you find yourself at a loss. So I always encourage that, and then I tell people, hey, love yourself first. And if you don't know how to love yourself the way you should love yourself, feed on the love that someone is giving you until you can love yourself in that same way. Right? But don't use it as a substitute. Use it as fuel to get you where you need to go. It's kind of like believing in someone, right? Like, and I've told my boys will tell you this. I've told, if you're ever in those moments where you don't believe in yourself, I want you to always remember this, regardless. I believe in you. Like, with everything in me, with everything in this universe and beyond, I believe in you. So believe in that until you can believe in you.
Listen, you. Oh my gosh. I love your whole energy, man. I love
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on the show today. I really, really very
I'm
much
so honored. I've been looking at all your amazing
honored.
posts. I was like, I probably should have opened for folks. Like, I should have warmed up the room.
Nah, bro, you a headliner, man. That was that last poem, man. You still got me fucked up. I'm gonna listen to it again because it was so incredibly good.
I'm glad. Thank you. I'm so honored.
Yes. Do you have any socials or any events coming up that you want to plug?
I don't have any upcoming events. I am in the process of completely revising my oddpoetgirl.com website, which is typically where I share all of my poetry. Yes. I am on Instagram, Odd Poet Girl. I'm on Twitter, Odd Poet Girl, and Facebook. My page is Odd Poet Girl.
Nice. All right, make sure y'all check that out. As for Uncorked with T, next week will be no guest. Next week will be myself. I'm going to share some poetry, talk about what's going to happen with Uncorked with T, and how we're going to mix it and go into the Uncorked Poetry Podcast. So next week, please come on back. I'm going to share some poetry, and we're going to talk about the future. As for my events, if anyone is a poet, and if you are in the Cape Cod vicinity, there is a Judge Floyd Remembrance event coming up May 23rd. We're still looking for a couple more poets. So if you're interested, hit me up. I'll have much more information for you. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much. Rachel, Zaji, listen, I'm on my way. Okay. I'm on my way, just so you know. Y'all have a great night. Remember, hurt people. So keep an eye on your pain. Stay safe. Godspeed. And I'll see you next week. Thank you so much, Collier. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Peace. And remember, go Yankees.